are so stupid.
That's because their brains are analog instead of digital.
Okay guys, Red Pill Phil, I'm here in the centre of Manchester. I've just caught up with this guy. Now he's a guy that I remember I filmed a few weeks ago with a guitar in his hand, and he was singing a very poignant song. Stick the New World Order up your ass. Firstly, mate, I'd like to say that song spiritually hit a note, a chord with a lot of people. Can I ask your name, sir?
It's Daz Nez.
Daz Nez.
D-A-Z-N-E-Z. That's my YouTube channel to look for.
And you've got your own YouTube, have you?
Yeah, I don't do that much. I put a few songs up.
Right.
You know, bit of truth stuff, but I'm not banged on it or anything. But,
Okay.
That's where, if you want to find it and want to keep in touch with us, yeah.
Now, can you tell me what the event was that I attended a few weeks ago?
I mean, that particular one was Stand Up for the Children.
Right.
Which is obviously, I mean, the establishment, VIP paedophiles, the child trafficking, which is it's absolutely right.
Sure.
And it's covered up. Yeah, when it does appear, they have a great way of silencing it. Many years ago, there was an MP called Jeffrey Dickens, who had a great big file on VIP, you know, MPs and lords and all the rest of it, who were VIP child abusers. That got buried. He died. You know, he died in mysterious circumstances. Obviously, not long ago, Theresa May was. You know, we had a child abuse inquiry because it was bubbling up again. Again, it's buried. We don't hear about it anymore. And obviously now Jeffrey Epstein, and now Ghislaine Maxwell's been arrested, and then all the flight logs have come out. So Prince Andrew and all these other people.
The can of worms just keeps getting bigger and bigger, doesn't it? But why does the outrage not run in line with the can of worms, if you understand what I mean?
It doesn't reach the mainstream. It's not on the BBC 6 o'clock. You might get a little piece in the Mail or a little piece in the Express, you know, and then it's forgotten about the next day. And you know, they always, you know, it's conspiracy theory. You know, they control the media. The same people that run the rules and you know, do all the most evilest crimes. Also control all the information that people get. I mean, George Collins said this years ago. You know what I mean? You know, that great
visionary,
great 5-minute speech of him saying, you know, it'll never get any better, guys. Yeah. You know, don't expect it to. The world's fucked. You know, and you know, everything's controlled by this you know, this group of ultra billionaires, these psychopaths.
What's your way to break it?
The way to break it, number one, is having conversations like this. Yeah. You know, a few people see it now. Obviously, you know, again, it's censored, so it's sandboxed. Everything's sandboxed online. But I tell you what, one of the ways to break it is doing things like this. Yeah. A few people come out. It's not a group of us or anything. It's a group of individuals that are like-minded. Now, obviously, we're also talking about the lockdown, the pandemic hoax, the plandemic. You know, today, where they've taken everybody's liberties away. You know, we've got fascist tyranny here.
Right in everyone's faces.
But people are still acquiescing because out of fear.
Without
so
doubt.
One of the ways to do it is get rid of the fear. That these people actually have no power or control over us. Yeah? The law is what we say it is. The law is what everybody agrees. Yeah? I don't interfere with you and you don't interfere with me. Other than that, we've got the freedom to live as we choose. That's how Britain has
That's how I
worked.
regard a libertarian.
Yes.
Yeah. True libertarian.
Yeah. And it's a you know, because you've got to put labels on something sometimes. Libertarian is a decent way of saying it. Yeah? I'm free to do what I want as long as that freedom doesn't impose with your freedom. And that's it. That should be the end of it. But that's not the world we live in right now. And especially since March 2020, then they've had the Coronavirus Act 2020 come in. Schedule 21 allows the police to use reasonable force to come in your house or your place of work or anywhere you are and cart you off if they suspect you. Suspect you, not of a crime, but of being poorly.
Yes.
Now,
over encroachment.
You know,
I mean, what gets me, sir?
Daz,
we know.
call me Daz.
Thank you, Daz. We know of the encroachment with the liberties that are diminishing.
Right.
Are you surprised or shocked with how the public are receiving it in a way that makes what you're talking about also almost sound like a dissident behaviour? You're talking about true liberty, true life.
Yeah.
The fear of the crowd that are acquiescent to it. I'm concerned with how easy that fear has been able to trickle into people that are not awoke or fail to be awoke or however you want to put it. What have you noticed personally about people on their psyche, how they've changed or not changed over this?
I think it's been going on for a while. I think it's you know, the really good analogy is the boiling frog. If you put a frog into boiling water, obviously it'll jump out straight away.
Yeah.
If you put a frog into cold water and heat it up slowly, you'll never notice when it gets
incremental.
Exactly, and this has been going on for decades. I wrote that song, Stick Your New World Order Up Your Arse, 7 years ago.
Really?
It talked about vaccines and it talked about chemtrails and all that, because it was going on then.
Just as current now, innit? Even more so.
And it will still be current in a few years' time.
Certainly.
But I hope not. I mean, I hope we'll be singing it as a song of victory instead of a song of protest or a song of, waking up or what have you. You know? And it really was, when I wrote it, it really was 2 fingers up. I mean, it was wake up, this is what's going on, but also 2 fingers up. I'm not scared to stand up to these wankers, to these psycho billionaires, and say, fuck you, this is not the world I want to live in. Now, if I'm the last man standing doing that, so be it. I'd rather live on my feet than die on my knees.
Brilliant.
Give me liberty or give me death.
It's like a Tiananmen Square of the mind, isn't it? Really,
I like
this
that.
now.
Yeah, I like that. People have been in prison themselves. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds, as the great Sir Bob said.
Without a doubt. So, in terms of what you're doing here, how are you seeing it grow? Are you seeing more and more people engage? Are you seeing a different change in society over the last?
I'm definitely seeing people engage. I mean, I'm kind of lucky because there's somebody shouting at people over there, and
drowning people out slightly,
and it kind of it repels people. So at least we're having chat, and we're having conversations with people. You know what I mean? Especially if I hear I'm here, you're talking bollocks or whatever, go over and chat to them. And it's just having a conversation because we're portrayed as these nut job conspiracy theorists who are just anti everything and what have you. No, basically I want to research for myself. I want the truth. I'm curious. I've always been curious. So having done that, and you see, and when you go through it, nearly everything that you've ever been presented on the telescreen is fake. It's an agenda. So 9/11 is a big one. Yes, the towers really fell. Yeah, but they weren't flown into by terrorists, and then which then gave the excuse not only to
it's been able to get us
abroad, but also to reduce our freedoms and liberties. Exactly the same as this now. You know what I mean? People know it's a joke. Everybody knows it's a joke. There's the rule of 6, but it's not till Monday. The virus has got a watch, it's got a calendar, it knows what you're doing, it knows whether you're eating or not, it knows if you're standing up or sitting down, it knows whether you're with family or whether you're at school. Everybody knows it's a nonsense and it's a joke, and the government are incompetent. They're not incompetent, they are puppets, and they are willing puppets who are stand to make greedy themselves, they stand to make millions off the vaccinations, and it's coming down from these billionaires, these NGOs, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, and all these people that nobody's ever voted for. So people might say to them, well, what's your medical qualifications? Well, what's Bill Gates? He sells computer software. You know what I mean? So why are we all listening to him?
He's got a shitload of money.
It's just not that much different. And influence is the power. Money, people think it's about greed as well. It's not. The money buys the power, and the power buys the influence and control. Yeah. And so, the police will follow that Coronavirus Act. If they're directed to come to your house and forcibly remove you and forcibly inject it, they will do that. Even though they know it's wrong, they won't go against their bosses. They won't say, hey, this is wrong, I'm quitting in mass numbers. So we have the people have to get, we have to make local action groups, do things like this, but also get together in 5 or 6s, go see your MP, go to the surgery. Yes, they're hiding at the moment. But at some point they have to start coming out, and we the people have to start pressuring. So a lot of them are in marginal seats, so we can put pressure on. 20 people can all speak to 20 other people, that's 400 people, that's a seat gone. You know what I mean? The fear needs to come off us, back onto those that are supposed to serve us. It's called public service, it's supposed to serve the public.
If this doesn't happen, where can you see life in 10 years? Some people say dystopia. I mean, what's your version of...
There's going to be, I finally watched that Demolition Man the other day, and it's a terrible film. But there was people living free underground. You know what I mean? I don't think we'll be underground, but it might be in the woods in squats.
Literally a 2-tier system.
Yeah, absolutely. They're already kind of creating that, but they're getting rid of the middle class because they've closed, letting all businesses close. If you've got a small business, don't close it. Refuse to close it. Refuse to go along with them. Do what you can. Yeah, you have to go online as well, but ignore the government. They are liars. They are evil criminals. Yeah, the people that make the rules for us are the most evil masters mafia that's going. The government, like I say, the public, they're not making the rules. They're just following along with it. And at the end of the day, there will be trials. There will be trials of one way or the other, and they will get them. But at the end, but we have to do what we can do.
The moral trial's already going on now, though, isn't it? As in, if the public was the jury, it's a lot of people are starting to sway and look at these people quite in a sinister way now. Not to be judgmental with every politician, because there will be good ones trying to, but unfortunately we can see the state. You don't even have to be red pilled to see that the world is going to the pan, really.
Social engineering. People. I mean, again, that's why a lot of people will go along. Number one is fear. Fear of getting fined. I'm going to get fined if I do so. So same as parking and all the rest of it. It's fear of getting this. They put the fear into people. At the end of the day, it's important to stand up. Now, okay, I'm a confident guy, I'm a musician and all the rest of it. But everybody can be a lot more confident than I. Nobody needs to be in fear of this insane regime. And it's not incompetence on their part. It's not, they don't really know what they're doing and all the rest of it. There is a definite plan. Don't be fooled by that. There is a definite plan by them. And we can fight back by joining together, by taking action, by doing what we can. You know what I mean? We've just launched. I'm just launching. It's just gone to the printers now. The first issue of a new truth paper called The Light. It's a real
The Light.
The Light. It's a print newspaper.
Okay.
And it will tell the truth. It's only obviously a small one. It's going to be distributed by activists, but it's coming out next week. We're going to do it every 2 to 4 weeks, depending.
And how can people get hold of that?
They can go to thelightpaper.co.uk.
Right.
And we're setting up a subscription service, but you can certainly, we've got a forum there and all sorts. But it's a way to obviously connect with us. It will be distributed by activists. It will, we'll try and put it in. We've got all over the country, got over 300 people. They're going to be putting it in shops and cafes and pubs and barbers and all that stuff. So you may well come across it. Obviously, hoping it will grow and grow. But it's taking action like that. We're doing offline stuff. Because the problem with online is it's great for connecting, it's great for getting information and sharing it. But when it comes to actual action, we're in a sandbox. Very, very quickly, we're in a sandbox. On Facebook, on
close you down, don't they?
On Twitter. So that's why you can post what you like.
So that's almost going back to old school, then, isn't it?
I think it's the way.
The envelope and stamp.
And you know what? The most successful, people that changed people's minds in the 18th and 19th centuries, they were pamphleteers. They were all pamphleteers. You know what I mean? People like the Chartists. I'm trying to think of all the guys. They put me on the spot. But they wrote pamphlets and they stood and they handed them out and they chatted to people, and that's how they did it. And look, lots of people still want to come out, still want to be with real people. They're stopping us being human with the social distancing and the groups of 6 and the groups of whatever 30 it was a while ago, but not till Monday after he's done his christening. You know what I mean?
Get that out of the way first.
These people are, they're taking the piss.
They are.
And there's one thing about the British people that I've always felt and I always found. And when I say British people, that's everybody. You know what I mean? It's not white indigenous British people. It's everybody that loves British values, which is freedom, and we don't like the piss being taken out. I want my freedom back. I want the freedom to be able to go somewhere and not have to give a fake name, so I don't get tracked and traced, so they don't come to my house in the middle of the night and say, well, there was somebody there a week ago that got tested for coronavirus, which is another false positive test. The guy that invented the PCR test, so you can't test it for live viruses anyway, you can't use it for live viruses. So the lies go on and on, the deception goes on and on, but the point is that I want the freedom that we had before, to be able to go where I want, when I want, with who I like, and not be tracked and traced, and not be said, I have to wear a muzzle like a
surveillance state. I seen you talking to a young lady. She had a mask on, and she wasn't buying into any of this, was she?
No, not at all. And all I was saying to her was, because she's obviously a science student,
right?
Or in that field. And all I was saying to her, I was saying basically about Antoine Béchamp versus Louis Pasteur. Now she's not heard of him. We're saying there's a whole load of science. There's no such thing as settled science. But there's a whole load of science that you don't get to hear about. Germ theory versus the terrain theory. Louis Pasteur and the germ theory, that's been pushed through education and media on and on and on.
So that becomes the narrative. So they're just taught on narratives.
Don't get to hear that now. She took the DVD. She took the pandemic.
Good for her.
DVD. She may well watch it at some point in the future.
Right.
So, and all I was saying to her was, science isn't settled. There's always another side to it. There's a whole bunch of doctors and health professionals on that DVD who will tell you a slightly
It is a theory.
different story.
That's all science is.
Yeah. And it's ongoing. It's
It changes. How many times over my lifetime things have changed? They've pushed the boundaries on this. Oh, well, this building's just been found here. Now we have to rewrite this. So
That's how it
constantly,
should be.
of course.
That's how it should be, but it's not the way it's portrayed
Yes.
by the media. You know what I
Certainly.
mean? The media need, and again, that was the point of the paper as well. Now, some of the print newspapers have been okay. You know what I mean? They do the odd bit of dissidence against the narrative, but all the broadcast media are absolutely. I mean, they're all owned and controlled. You know, and it's you know, it is frustrating. But we have they might have the media, but we have the numbers. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Talk to each other, but again, they try to shut that down. You know,
So could you tell everyone exactly how they can reach you, all the different platforms you and whoever you follow are on?
Well, I mean, obviously, Facebook groups. You know, I mean, obvious things to search for in Facebook groups like Plandemic and. I mean, again, off the top of my head, I don't really know. I'm on Facebook as Darren Smith.
Right.
If you want my YouTube channel, it's Daz Nez. Like I say, I don't do a lot of communication through there, but you can certainly find some excellent songs. And they're all.
Have you officially recorded that New World Order?
No, it's a living, breathing song. So
You should record that,
It's
mate.
changed over the years, and it continues to change.
Right.
And there was a new verse that I came up with the other day, and it goes, "You can stick your corporation up your arse. You can stick your corporation up your arse. You can stick your corporation. We're a free and sovereign nation. Stick your corporation up your arse."
Cool.
So if I'd recorded that song 3 weeks ago,
A week later, you've got to do it again.
I've got another verse now.
It's all about wordplay, innit?
So really, I mean, you know, if obviously somebody wants to come and record it, you know, and put it out, because everybody says, you know, it should get recorded and we'll get it to the wall and all the rest of it. And if that helps wake people up, if that helps, then people go, well, what's this about? What's chemtrail? What's the chemtrail? What coronavirus? Stick little liars and all. If that helps people, then I'm more than happy to do it.
Have you got a recording of it? Because I'm a DJ, and have you not got anything on data or anything like that? No, or just a video.
Go to YouTube and get a YouTube to MP3 converter.
So would that be outside in public with people, as in street noise, or is that just you on your own?
Well, there's a version of me not long after I wrote it.
Right. Because what I'm saying is that I could do with the cleanest version I could get,
right?
And I'll try and do a little bit of something with your permission,
mixing it,
you know. And then, like I say, I've got a YouTube channel called Red Pill Phil, so more than welcome. And you know, I've got a little bit of hip hop stroke R&B influence. I'd love to be able to inject a little bit of something in it.
Yeah, I mean,
excellent.
I'm like, you know, absolutely. Somebody showed me a video a few weeks ago in Australia. They were doing their own version.
Yeah, London were doing it.
I've seen. I've seen. I think it was 2014 or 2015 Bilderberg over in Germany, and there's a German guy, and there's somebody, you know, with the lyrics there, and he's going, "You can't stick your new world order up your arse." Absolutely great. You know what I mean?
Excellent.
As the songwriter said, Noel Gallagher said, "I just want the metal movement to whistle my tune."
It's a pity you're not getting paid for this, though, innit? But I mean, no, mate, you're spreading the word, innit? You know, you don't need royalties of the mind, I guess. That's probably better, innit? Mate, this has been fascinating. Thank you. I'm glad I actually got to catch up with you.
Nice to meet you, Phil. And by the way, keep in touch as well yourself.
I will indeed, certainly.
We're here most Saturdays. We're not here next Saturday because we're going down to Trafalgar Square.
Right.
On the 26th, if people want to go down there, it's going to be a massive meeting. David I could be there, Piers Corbett there. I'm going to be there on stage singing the New World Order song.
Excellent.
And you know, a great mass meeting of people. And guess what? Nobody's going to get ill again. You know, we're all going to be together. Nobody's going to catch.
That's one last thing I'm going to ask you, mate. Where are all the spikes that correspond with the amount of redressing that has been going on over the past 6 months? Can you explain that to me?
You know where the initial spike came from? They're moving ill people out of hospital who were getting perfectly fine treatment, moving into care homes where they obviously couldn't be looked after, and then dying. Also refusing cancer patients and very older patients and other treatments. So that's where they got the initial spike from. Since then, it's gone down and down and down. But they are still, every day, Matt Hancock and Boris Johnson and Chris Whitty, you know, contradicting their advice from months ago, every day, stoking it. You're going to have to go into lockdown. Cases. And the only reason there's more cases is because people are getting tested. tested. The inventor of the PCR test, Carrie Mullis, said it's not actually meant for live viruses. You can't detect a live virus. It can't. And even the government and the media have admitted it, but it doesn't matter because on the BBC 6 o'clock news and 10 o'clock news, the main news, it's cases, fear. KGB, CIA, lots of scientific experiments. Once you've feared people, once you've got people to giving them enough information, brainwash over and over again, doesn't matter what information you then present to them, they won't believe it.
Well, yeah, and they become pliable. You can do what you want with them under fear. I do believe one of the people you mentioned before, one of the biggest terms that I've heard coined, problem, reaction, solution. That spells out what is going on now. The problem has been created. The reaction is obvious, a pandemic. You put the fear out, you're going to get that reaction. The solution that they're offering, because of the reaction, because no one wants to live this life, we're going to give in. We're going to acquiesce, we're going to give up. But this is only very similar to when Al-Qaeda was running over, and now, even now today, we're still going through an airport, you have to literally get down to your underpants, all on what was based on a lie.
Yep, all
so
lies.
it's the same thing again,
Yep.
different...
Removing people's liberties on deception and lies, but that's how they do it. That's how tyrants do it. You know what I mean? And it's time to stand up and fight back. You know what I mean? Because yes, there's lots of asleep people, and yes, we need a mass awakening. I don't think that's ever going to happen. What my problem is, or has been for since I came back to the Facebook and all the rest of it, is lots of activists online. Now, don't get me wrong, some people are disabled and that's what they can do, but there are a lot of people that are able-bodied that are either feared or lazy, or they believe that everybody's thinking like us or what have you. Activists need to get offline, get off in front from the computer screens and go out and do real local action. Wherever you are, hold rallies, hold little meetings. We've done printing a leaflet, they say we're doing a truth paper, whatever you can do, but it needs to be offline, real world activism. Because the thing is online, we've got, you're a moron, it's okay, and you're just not getting anywhere. Whereas face to face, you say, what are you wearing a mask for? And come on, you know what I mean? And generally, they're not going to turn around and start hitting you and go, you're a moron. A lot of the time, they'll go, you're right.
They'll realise.
It's shit, really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it can go either way.
Have a real conversation with people, because they're not, you know what I mean? It's different offline, and also let them see the numbers. I'm not afraid. I want them to know that I completely disagree, that I'm a dissident, I'm a rebel, I'm not accepting it, and if I'm the last man standing, taken and put into the quarantine centre and injected with poison, and then my body's thrown away, then that's the way it goes. Never take a vaccine.
You're a lively character, and the vibe you created with that song, that's gonna live with me for a long time. So keep injecting that vibe, mate. So you're gonna be here a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
I'll come down, I'll come and see you, and I'll film, and hopefully we can catch up on that chat, mate. Nice one, mate. Let's touch as well. Nice one, pal. Good luck. Brilliant. Wow, what a chat. What a great guy. You can stick your New World Order up your ass. I am on that. Red Pill Phil, in the middle of Piccadilly Gardens, Manchester. Whoa. Stick your New World Order up your ass. Even the haters.
I love you, 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 I love you.
Even the pissing haters.
I love you, 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 I love you.